My story started 9 years ago, and I was 50 then, and I went in for my 50-year physical exam, and everything went really well. They said I had a clean bill of health, but now that I was 50, it was time to do my first colonoscopy. So I went in for a routine colonoscopy, and during that test, the doctor discovered a huge tumor in my colon. It's about 5 inches in diameter. And he was very sure it was cancer. And so I went through the surgery for that, and I had to have a colostomy and everything. One of the doctors that I had to see was able to feel something in my neck. And they said, again, we don't think it's anything, but let's get it biopsied, just to be sure. Went in for a biopsy, got a call back, it was cancer, thyroid cancer this time. So I had to be scheduled for surgery to have my thyroid removed. And when I went in for surgery for that, the surgeon opened me up, and he said he'd never seen more abnormal looking lymph nodes in all of his years of surgery. And he didn't know because he was a thyroid specialist, but he cut some of them out to be biopsied. And they came back as lymphoma cancer. So I had lymphoma cancer also. And so anyways, they wanted me to start chemo right away. Well, now I'm backing up because I had ordered all the literature from the American Cancer Society, and it was very helpful, but one of the things they're very honest about, they say if you go the traditional route, the chemo is going to really kill your immune system. And my primary care physician knew I was running from chemo, and he was trying to help me as much as he could, and he said, I can't believe I got this from my primary care physician. He's from a clinic here, a very huge one that's very renowned. And he said, I want to tell you about a place I just heard of. And the name of it is Envita. So we went to Envita, and they did a lot of tests on me and everything, and they proposed a program for me to follow. We went there and we stayed for 3 months of treatments. The doctor at Envita said, let's do a PET scan. Let's go in the hospital, do a PET scan, and see where you are cancer-wise. And it came back that all of my cancer was 100% gone, except for a little bit around my kidneys. I could not believe this, because the doctor here, my cancer doctor here, had said there was no cure for my cancer. The type of lymphoma I had, there was no cure. The best you could hope for was remission, and then it would come back, and then you would just start all over again, as long as you could, handle this. And so they said, no, it's not in remission. There is no sign of it, except for this one part in your kidney. So that made me feel like, okay, I can finish the course. And so we continued on with treatments until it was completely gone, and I left Envita completely cancer-free. I give God all the glory. It was Him that sent me to Envita through a very unusual person, because he's a traditional doctor through and through. But he had happened to attend a lecture that Envita was giving, and it made sense to him, and he and his partner flew out to Envita. And they stayed there for a week and watched them work. And they believed in everything they did. His partner is a very renowned cardiologist in our area. And so that meant a lot to me too, that they would say that. And so anyways, it ended up being a very happy ending for me. And I have sent several people there, and all of them that have gone have had the same success story that I have had. I think it's because they're not afraid to think out of the box. They don't throw all the traditional out, because there is a lot of good in traditional medicine. So it's a mix. It's a mix of the good traditional and a lot of the wonderful non-traditional. And in Arizona, the doctors explained to me it's the most progressive state in the United States, where they are allowed to do things like that they can't do in any other state. When you're young, you think you're going to live to be 99, and you find out you know, that can happen in a heartbeat. It can happen, you know, that you're gonna end it with cancer, or you could walk out here in the street and get hit by a car. But battling with death and being on the edge and brink of death makes life so much more precious.